All right, this one is simple view. So we have Eduardo here. Eduardo, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what it is you have to do with Vue?
So I'm a core team member of Vue.js. I'm the author of its router and Pinia, which is the official state management library.
Awesome.
So pretty familiar with Vue
Okay,
core itself.
good. So you might be able to
Normally,
help me. I've only used Vue briefly. I had a job where we used Vue, and I used it for like 3 months. so
okay.
just reading the prompt for this challenge, I mean, it explains what some of the things are. Maybe we'll just talk about them. There's data, computed, and methods, and it gives an example. So we'll just take the challenge and jump right in.
All right.
So yeah, what is all this stuff? Can you explain like what is data, what is computed, and what is methods, like very briefly?
Yeah. So in Vue, we have this is what we call the options API right now. This is an API that has existed for many years, and it's what allows us to structure a component. So you have the data, which is going to represent the component state. You have computed properties, which are properties derived from state, so from data or other computed properties, and they are just like state, but you cannot write to them, and they are always up to date. So you don't need to even think about, for example, here first name or last name could change, but the full name is every time you read it is going to be the last version.
Okay.
And then we have methods, which are just like the methods of a class for the component.
Got it. Okay. Just like functionality, and then if you want to mutate something, you do it in a method.
Not necessarily. You can do also on the template, but the methods are usually more thematically explicit.
Okay. So I'm going to take what you said and let's like kind of get a scaffold going. So you said we have data, we have computed, and then why did it make a lowercase c? And then you have methods.
Yeah.
All right. And then this options object is like, it has those things as well. So we have like data. It has like, let's just put null there for a second. Computed. I mean, I guess computed is like computed. Yeah, something like that. And methods. We'll just do this. So data, okay, what is data? Data is a function that returns
the initial state, the initial data object.
Okay, I see. And what does it take as an argument? Nothing?
Nothing. It does have a this, there is a context, but most of the time you don't use it.
Okay, so we'll just put like a void argument, or maybe we can just do that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any restrictions on this stuff? I mean, so computed is a list of functions, right? It's an object with functions.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't just put like I can't say computed like thing 10 in here.
No, that.
Okay, that'd be invalid.
Correct.
All right, so I'll put a extends. So we'll do like record. Do you know about property key?
No, didn't know that exists.
Property key is default? Yeah. It's a thing in TypeScript. Or I'll take us to it. I don't. Does it?
String number symbol. Okay, yeah. I used to write them by hand. Yeah.
Right. So not a lot of people know about this. It's only used in like one little place in a thing that nobody knows about.
Why. Yeah, we don't see it on the DTS usually.
Yeah. So it's just built into TypeScript, but it's a useful little feature to know about because it represents all the possible things that you could store as object keys in TypeScript. Even though I always like to point out, you can't have, for anyone watching, you can't have numbers as object keys in JavaScript. It's not possible. Yeah, they can only be strings or symbols. Yeah, but TypeScript allows numbers. They get cast to strings, so it kind of works. Yeah. Okay, so we have that, and then let's take a look at our tests. So this .data. So why is it saying there's an error on this .data? Oh, because this .data doesn't exist?
So the thing. Oh, you mean right now or the expectation?
On line 10. Yeah, on line 10 it gives us an error.
Oh, because it doesn't have an error, because right now you are on an object, and it does have a data property, right? Yeah, the object is this one. This is a regular function.
Mm-hmm.
So this equals the object past
Oh.
simple view.
Oh, okay. So, okay, computed. Okay, got it.
I don't know why it's not really overriding the.
So I think I know. There's a for the computed.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, there's a trick for this one. So there's a thing in TypeScript that a lot of people
This type.
you know about this type. Tell me.
I don't remember anymore. We used it. I've used it in Opinion too, but.
So I think we have to join
that you could go for.
Maybe we have to do so this type. So for anyone watching, I myself have never heard of this type before looking at this challenge, and I read a little bit about it. It's a type that represents this. Actually, maybe they gave us a little marker for contextual this type. Okay. Well, anyway, it's a type that represents the current type that we're in, the current object that we're in. And in the case of view, we absolutely need to have this. So it's a really wonderful thing that it exists, because I don't think it's possible to do the view types without it. So we have to build up some list of things. So we have data, we have methods, and then let's see what that does. We're getting closer. So it's giving us, let's look at line 30. It's giving us an error on this.fullName. Full name does not exist on type. So we have to put the computed properties in here. So I think we have to map. Have you ever seen a mapping structure like this? So we have to map over, it's always hard to figure out how to format these things, but we have to map over computed, and then we can do like,
return type.
Yeah. Oh, return type. Yeah, right. Good point. Because they're functions. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You only have
just one thing left. So this one, I wonder if this one is, this is what I was thinking before, that we're not going to get away. Yeah, okay. This is silly. So I don't think this is really arguably a bug. If it's okay. It should,
yeah.
What this person is saying is it should error in this case because it doesn't have an argument, and we have to list it as void. I don't know. Well, that's cool. We got through it. It wasn't really that bad.
It's the one was it's a simpler version of the tier one.
It's definitely, yeah, this one doesn't have props. So maybe that's a good segue. So we were going to take this solution and move it into the next challenge.
Right.
So, but that's this one. Do you have any other, and I didn't find any variations. Usually for people watching, there's almost always like many variations for how to solve these challenges. This one is very specific to Vue, and there's not like a lot of different ways to do this. It just kind of makes sense to do it this way. But do you have any other closing thoughts before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, all the data on Vue, you can access some of the things within data via the context. It's not something you usually do, but you can access, for example, methods.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. You don't actually. There's not usually a time when you need that.
No, I would rather consider that bad design choice. I mean, but
yeah,
if you really want to use the function within the state, it should probably be a raw function, not a method.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
From my perspective, my opinion. But anyway, here you have an error in the random. But in practice, you can access some other functions.
Interesting. Okay. Wow, that's good to know. Cool. So let's take this and we'll move on to the next one.